All right, you should go to this link called www.desmos.com. It will then show you this red button. Click on Start Graphing, and then it'll take you directly to the graphing calculator called Desmos. We're going to learn how to use it. So here is the input area where you can type something like equations. We're just going to graph a point. So let's graph point 1, comma 1. So type parentheses 1, comma 1. Press enter, and there's your point. If you want to actually see the coordinates, you can check the show label or not. You can change the color of your point by holding on to this red circle, and then color choices will show up. You can change it to blue if you like. So besides graphing points, you can also graph equations. Let's do a linear equation. Type y equals 3x minus 1. And there's your line. You can change the line to a dotted line. Again, hold down the blue circle and select this. You can also do inequalities by changing the equal sign into a greater than symbol, and it will shade above the line, or go below the line, like so. You can also include an equal sign with the inequality, which is here in your keyboard. Try this one, and notice how the line is now solid rather than dotted. Next, I learned to type an exponential function. Let's do y equals 2 to the power of x. Type y equals 2. Then to get the exponent location, click on here, the AB icon. Now type x, and there's your exponential function. Let's do an absolute value. Y equals, here's the absolute value bar that you can select. Click on that. Let's type x minus 2. Here's do another absolute value bar, and there's your absolute value function that looks like a V. Let's do a quadratic. Y equals x, here's the x. Power 2 squared is this button right here, a to the second power. Let's do minus 1. And there's your parabola. Let's do a circle. This time we're going to need parentheses. So type parentheses. Let's do x plus 1. Close the parentheses. Squared, which is the a power 2 button, plus parentheses y minus 2. Close parentheses. Squared equals 9. And there's your circle. You have a lot of graphs on your screen right now, and you can hide them so that you can only see the ones that you really want to see. Let's say we don't want to see the circle, so let's just click on the black, and your circle disappears from your screen, even though your equation is still there. Let's take away this one as well. Let's take away this one and this one. And we're going to change this back into an equal sign. All right, so now you just have a line with no shading. So I'm going to show you how to do next is how to stop the domain and the range, which pretty much means allows you to stop this line from going forever. So you can cut it horizontally or vertically. So let's say you want this line to stop at this number 2, and this number 2 is on the y-axis. So we're going to restrict the range, and we're going to use a variable y, and we're going to use the number 2. So before you can do that, you need to have a special type of bracket, they're called curly bracket. Your keyboard doesn't show that right now, but click on the ABC button, and a different keyboard pops up, and here's your curly bracket right there. Touch that. And now we're going to say y. Remember we talked about restricting the range at y. And we want it to show everything below the number 2. So I'm going to put this inequality below 2, and see how your line stopped at that number 2? And you got to close the curly brackets to go back to the ABC keyboard. See, this is the wrong bracket. It's the left one. To get the right one to show up, click on that, and there's the right bracket. And now you are done restricting that end of the line. Maybe I want to stop the line right at 0 here, right here. So that means I'm going to need the y variable with the number 0 and with curly brackets. Let's add another pair of curly brackets. So I want a left bracket first. I'm going to use the y variable, and I want everything to show up above the 0. So go back to your other keyboard. Above the 0 would be this, and then type 0, and then curly bracket. Go back to the other keyboard, get the right curly bracket. Notice that when you are typing, your line did disappear on you. That's okay. It's because you're in the process of typing, but once the curly brackets are complete, the line will show back up. Now let's say you had meant to type Y and you type X instead. And if it was the wrong variable, the line would just disappear altogether. So sometimes you need to try changing a different variable and see what works and what doesn't. And that's a quick demonstration on Desmos.